Hey everyone, this is Tom with TK Designs. In this video, I'm going to show you how to engrave a glass bottle with both a picture design on one side and text on the other side, perfectly aligned using a diode laser. When finished, the product is going to look something like this. On one side, we'll have a laser engraved ship, and on the other side, we will have writing. Using this quick and easy method, you'll quickly be able to design multi-sided designs for many different gift ideas. I was commissioned to design a laser engraved ship in a bottle with opposing text for the upcoming khaki ball for a local Navy command here in San Diego. So let's go ahead and get started on this project. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get measurements on the bottle so that we know where we're going to do our engraving area. In this case, I need to get the full circumference around the bottle because I intend to do a laser engraving on both sides. And when I measure it up, it comes up to 223 millimeters. For the length on this bottle, we've got a curve here and a curve starting here, so I want to get this distance. And that distance is 132 millimeters approximately. For the next step, I'm going to use some washable tempera paint. This is the Crayola brand in black, and we're going to paint the bottle because I'm going to be using a diode laser to do the engravings. So to do that, I put some in a little cup, and I'm going to cover the bottle in the areas that I expect to paint. I'm going to go all the way around because, again, this will have engravings on both sides. And the goal is to get the paint spread across all the way around and with as little light showing through as possible so that we have a good laser engraving surface. After we've got it covered up, we can do one of two things. We can let it air dry, which I'm going to do, or you can use a heat gun to dry the tempera paint on the outside. What I do recommend is if you use an air gun, make sure you let the glass cool afterwards before you begin your laser work. That way you don't have to worry about the glass superheating too much and cracking while it's engraving. Now that we've got all of our prep work done, we can go ahead and create our project in the Xtool creative space, which I have opened up. We'll start by opening up a new project. And in our new project, the first thing I want to do is create a rectangle. So we can just draw it anywhere on the space. And now what we want to do is go to our height and width parameters, and we're going to unlock the aspect ratio. And our width is going to be 132 millimeters. And our height is going to be 223 millimeters. Once we've completed that, we can create a second rectangle. And this one, we're going to do half the height. So we'll give it a width of 132 millimeters, unlock the aspect ratio, and our height will be 111.5 millimeters. So this is half of the original circumference. Now we'll drag that rectangle in, and what we want to do is we want to get it aligned like this so that you see the crosshairs lined up both to the side and across. That way we know we've got it directly centered. Our next step is going to be to import the picture we intend to use. And in this case, I have a file called old chip. We're going to display it on the canvas. And this one, we're going to keep the aspect ratio, but we're going to make it a maximum of 132 millimeters wide. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to flip it. We're going to reflect vertically. And we're going to drag this down and center it on the bottom line. We see the crosshairs light up there. We know that it's directly centered on that line. Next, I'm going to create text. And this text is going to be utilizing Times New Roman for the font. If you're in the military, if you know, you know. That's our standard font. I'm going to set that to a size of 20. And for this, it's going to say FY26 Nav War / Nywick Pack, and then a space and khaki ball. And now we will go ahead and align this on the center of that top line. So there we have the crosshairs. Now we know that it's perfectly aligned. For our laser options, the first thing we need to do is make sure that we take our outer square and we will set that to ignored because we're using that only as a guide for alignment. We'll do the same for the inner square. Then for our writing, we're going to set our power to 80%. This is with a 20 watt laser, so if you're using a 40 watt, you may need to adjust that based on what you need to do to properly engrave. So we'll set the speed to 180 millimeters per second, one pass, 100 lines per centimeter, and bidirectional. Then for our picture, we'll highlight that. And again, set our power to 80%. And our speed to 180 millimeters per second. This will be grayscale for the bitmap mode, 100 lines per centimeter, and bidirectional. The last thing that we need to do is that we need to go up for our processing mode. And in my case, I'm going to select the roller, use the rotary attachment. You can also do this with the chuck if you've got a glass that's not the same circumference at the base and the top, but that's a different video at a different time. Now that we've got the design done, we can set up for our laser engraving. We are going to have our rotary tool in, and we're going to make sure that this is going to be parallel to the laser, so that when we put our bottle on, we'll be able to laser straight across. And the best method that I've found for that is using a carpenter's square or a small square and lining it up to make sure that this is parallel to the edge of the tray. And we want to have the tray at the lowest setting in the riser so that we can have room to put our bottle and get everything lined up. So now that we're lined up, we're going to take our bottle and set it on the roller and line up our arrow directly over the top. Line it up directly over the top so that it can engrave across the bottle. Next, in Xtool Creative Space, we will align our drawing and set this up to where our corner is on the corner of our laser. And where we're at, we can use the marking and this way we know that our laser will have its optimal distance. And then we can frame it to make sure that our laser is going to mark where it's supposed to. And then at that point, we can proceed to laser. For the purpose of demonstration, I've got the lid to the laser open and the safety is disengaged using some magnets. You should not do this in general practice. And if you do feel the need to, make sure that you're wearing laser safety goggles so that you're not exposed to the laser light. So we'll go ahead and start the processing. Now that lasering is complete, as you can see, we've got our writing on one side. And if we turn the bottle around, we have our ship. So here's a good example of how the design looks. And when we flip it over, we have our writing. Thanks for watching, and if you've made it this far, I hope you really enjoyed the content. If you did, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get to see new content as I put it out. In the meantime, here's some videos that I think you'll enjoy.